So something that has been a feature in all of our pre-season games is the ability for a defender or a keeper to play a long ball up to Martin, who then flicks it onto the running winger. And obviously, because Martin starts off in the striker position and then comes into midfield, it drags out their centre-back out of position, which opens up space in behind for our winger to get through. And this was prominent in Weiman's early chance in the game. For me, something that sets Martin apart from other strikers is his ability to make runs in behind in this half space in the channel down the lines. For example, in this game, when our winger drops deep, it pulls out their fullback and it opens up space down the channel for Martin to make a run in behind. And unlike other strikers, he can do a lot. He can hold up the ball like I just demonstrated, or he can make runs down the channels. I think he's a really complete striker for us. Something that I noticed when Scott came on in this number 10 role is his ability to just drift into these areas and create overloads. So from here, he kind of drift, he come out wide, he often make runs in the half space to try and get into the box, get into this area of the box. We should have had a couple of pens, I thought. He did get brought down a few times and a couple of shots to the near post, but he kind of reminded me of a Thomas Muller or like a Dele Alli, where he just glides into these spaces and kind of moves through there and he glides on the ball. I think it's going to be one for the future, definitely. So another thing I noticed is that we kind of compact midfield with our striker dropping in and also other three midfielders like staying in position. So it'd be a 4 versus 3 midfield and it would force them to go out wide, which is ultimately what we wanted them to. So as I've mentioned in a few other of these pre-season match reviews, we look to try and box the opposition in to like a corner of the pitch when we're pressing them. So for example, when we were pressing Villa, Martin made a curve run over here, which kind of boxed Villa in to this corner here and forced them to go long a few times. That's mainly been our main pressing style throughout this whole pre-season, so I think that's what we're going to be seeing in the league games as well. But also, I think we look to target their weakness, which is Ashley Young. Although he's a good player, I think he was their weakness because he's a right-footed left back, and I think if we tried to like press him and target him here, then we could force him back onto his right, and obviously he comes into the danger area, or we make him play a long ball on his left foot, which isn't going to be as good as if he plays a long foot on his right foot. For the most part of the game, we looked to kind of sit off Villa and kind of block off the passing lanes into the midfield so they couldn't progress through the centre at least. So obviously we'd have our 2 midfielders matched up to their 2 midfielders, and Martin would drop deep alongside the number 10, which would allow 2 passing lanes to be blocked off, and obviously Villa would have to come sideways, and at times Villa would move their midfielder back into the back line to create a back 3 against our back 2, but instead of just pressing him and then opening up a passing lane here, we'd stay composed, stay in the 4-4-2 shape and block off the passing lanes, and this forced them to kind of go around the outside of us, which is what we wanted. I think there's one area that we really got caught out on, and that was when their winger drops deep, which obviously pulls our fullback. This opens up space for Watkins to get in behind, and this worked for them rather than it kind of working for us, because Watkins is a better runner than Martin, and he's known for more running down the channel and he's more of a willing runner. Then obviously you can cross the ball in. That's how their first goal came around, when our fullback got pulled out of position. They opened up the space in behind for Watkins to get a cross in, and then they just had a tap in at the back post.